Hey, my name's Joe Pierce, and welcome back to my shop. So today I've got another kit build, and this one is a little special. I recently contacted a company called the Fretwire. And the Fretwire, they make guitar kits, amongst other things, mostly guitar kits. But anyway, they make some pretty cool kits that you can't really find other places. And so I sent them an email. I was like, hey, I've got a YouTube channel, and you guys make kits, and I should make one of your kits on my channel. And they were like, that sounds like a great idea. But I wanted to put a little bit of a twist on it. You know, I hate just asking for free things, right? So what I did was I asked them for one of their B-stock guitars. So their B-stock is the same kit as the regular kits, except they're B-stock. They're not perfect. So that way I can show you some little tricks on how to fix whatever's wrong with them, save a little bit of money. Because that's what we want to do. We want to save money and have lots and lots of guitars. So the one that they sent me was this one. It's called the Rockabilly kit. And it's, it's similar to a Gretsch. It's a thick boy. It's a hollow body guitar. And first impressions is that I really like it. So I'm going to show you what all comes with it. All right. What you get in the box is the body, which is already built. The neck, which is already built as well. Hardware, tuners, bridge. This one comes with a kind of a copy of a Bigsby tremolo, which this one has a few little issues that we'll go over. Pickups, pick guard, all your other little screws and things that you need. So everything you need to build a guitar. So, you could build this pretty quick. So a few things that we're going to have to fix, because this is the B-stock, right? So the main thing, the thing that they tell you on their website, is that the veneer is a little bit chipped right here. So, okay, so this guitar is made of plywood, like 1/8 of an inch plywood, which is fine, right? I mean, for what they charge for one of these, don't expect a solid carved top. You're not going to get that. A solid carved top is more like a $3,000 guitar. Maybe not even that much, but up to, So the fact that the veneer is a little bit chipped right here, that sucks, but it's plywood and it's inexpensive, so it's not a big deal, and we can fix that. Two other issues that I've found is the neck, although it's pretty well built, there's a little bit of like sharp edges that we're gonna have to fix on that. The only problem is that where it's carved right here is a little bit sloppy. It's kind of sloppy, is I guess the best word to put. So right here is going to take a little bit of work, but that's fine. I'm a woodworker. I can fix that. You may not be a woodworker and you just want to build a guitar, because, if you just want to build it, you only need a couple tools, soldering iron, screwdriver, things like that. But, if you really want to give it the extra oomph, there's a couple things that you're going to want to fix. Third problem is on this bridge. That thing fell out. That was my fault, though. Right here where it's painted, there's a bad spot in the paint. So I'm going to have to do something in there. But for me, I'm like, that's not a big deal. That gives me an opportunity to do some crazy stuff or whatever. So not that bad for me. Everything else is yet to be seen. We got to put it together to find out if there's any other problems. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stain it. I'm not going to make you watch all of the sanding and stuff. I'm going to, this is a little bit rough. I'm going to sand it down to 320 grit. Then I'm going to raise the grain with water, and I'm going to sand it down again so it's super smooth before I ever stain it. One thing I would recommend, though, on this guitar is if you're going to stain it where you can still see the wood grain underneath, don't sand it with, like, an electric sander. Because if you sand through that top layer of veneer, it's going to look bad. So I'm going to hand sand this so that I don't go too far. I'm going to start with I'm probably just going to go 220 and 320. This doesn't need rough sanding. The neck, I'm going to have to do a little bit of shaping on that. Maybe with something other than sandpaper. Maybe a rasp or something. But, we'll see. Let's watch. So, what we're going to do next is we're going to take care of this veneer problem. And I thought that we could try some of this stainable wood filler. Is it going to work? I don't know. Are we going to find out? Probably. So, come on down. So I've just smushed it down in there, right? And I'm going to let it dry for a couple hours, and then we'll sand it flat, and then we'll see if it actually accepts stain. That would be fantastic. Now that we've let the green filler cure, it's time to sand it down. All right, now what I've done, sanded it down to 320, everything, and I've taken a towel, a little bit of water, not a lot. Now it's not sopping wet, right? It's just a little wet, and I've wiped the guitar down with the towel. I'm going to do the neck the same way. The reason you do this is to raise the grain. What happens when you sand on a very small level, you're taking some of those fibers and you're laying them over. So instead of sticking up, they're laying down, right? So then when you go to put your finish on, it's going to do the exact same thing that this water is doing. Water is going to make those fibers kind of swell up and they'll stick back up. So if we get it wet, get the fibers to stick up, and then sand them down again, now those fibers will be gone instead of standing up, and it will feel smoother in the long run. So, damp towel, wipe it down, let it dry, and then feel it again, and you'll feel that it feels kind of fuzzy. So, gonna let it dry, and then sand it some more. Alright, so now that that's done, we're gonna do some dyeing. Now, I've been arguing with myself for quite a while whether I wanted to do this crazy multicolor burst, which I think would be cool, or this traditional burst, which is also cool. And since I went weird with the last guitar, this one, the grain looks so nice on it. I'm going to go traditional on this one. If you like this crazy color burst, stay tuned, because I'll probably do the next guitar like this.
It was at this point in the build that I forgot that I was talking to the camera, and I just stopped talking to the camera. So from here on out, it's going to be VoiceOver Joe. Hello, I'm VoiceOver Joe, here with your voiceover. So what I'm doing right now is I am applying the Crimson Guitars Stunning Stains. This is the water-based formula. They also have it in a spirit-based version, but I like the water-based. So I'm applying amber on the whole guitar, and then I'm going to do the black around the edges. And I try to get the black pretty thick around the edges, and right now it looks like, doesn't look like a burst, it just looks like it has a border. But what I'm going to do is once I get the black around the edges, I'm going to blend it all in with the same rag that I put the amber on with. And those are the only two colors that are in this. And the whole point of the burst is to get it to kind of fade so it looks like multiple colors. The sides, I just do the black. With the black being on top of the amber, it ends up looking more brown, which is what I was going for. So, mission accomplished. Okay, so now you see what I'm doing is I'm scraping the dye off of the binding because, we want the binding to be nice and bright and show through really well, and the dye being on top of it kind of hinders that. So you just take a blade, you just scrape, and this takes a while. Makes lots of fun scratchy noises. But by the time you're done with one guitar, you're an expert. It's tedious, but you get good at it. Okay, so now I'm squirting some glue out, and I'm going to glue in the neck. I'm being careful not to get any glue where the stain is, because it's been stained, but it hasn't had the finish applied, and the glue will get in the way of the finish from penetrating. So I'm using 2 clamps, just making sure that it's seated in really well. And now I'm doing the trick with the drinking straw to get the little bit of glue squeeze out. And this is my first time trying it, and it worked so well. I was super impressed. You should be too. So sometime later, like the next day, this is the next day, taking the clamps off, and now the neck is set. And of course, when you get the neck glued on, you have to pretend to play the guitar. Okay, so I'm finishing it with tung oil finish. This is my first time using tung oil finish, and the results are pretty good. To get it to be nice and shiny, it's a bit of a process. It took me several days, actually, many coats. I just kept putting coats on until it was as shiny as I wanted it to be. If you wanted to go for more of a matte finish, you just do the 2 coats and you're done. Now for the tremolo, I mentioned earlier that there was a screwed up spot in the paint. So I knocked all that off with a wire wheel in my Dremel, and now I'm just polishing it. Now for the wiring, I didn't show all that. It's really hard. Just follow the wiring diagram. But here's me wiring the pickups, installing the truss rod cover. All the holes are already drilled for everything in this kit, so it makes assembly really easy. So 10 out of 10 would build again. Now putting in the posts, normally I hammer them in there, but I'm normally doing a solid body guitar. The hammering wasn't working. They were really tight. So I took the pickup back out, and I'm just using a C-clamp to press it in there, and that worked really well. Putting in the posts for the 2-pneumatic bridge. Just pops right on. Now I'm installing the tremolo. Again, the holes are already drilled in the body, so there's no guesswork. You put it right where the holes are, and you're good to go. Now for the pick guard, of course, the first thing I did was drop a screw inside this body, so here we are fishing it back out. Super fun. And then I proceed to try to put it together again over the same hole, and I get lucky and I don't drop it in a second time. So then we just attach the pick guard. The knobs, they just press on. They stick up a little bit high, and you could put a washer behind it on the underside of the body so the post isn't sticking up so high. But I'm not too worried about it. Putting the tuning machines on now, and again, the holes for the screws are already there, so there's no guesswork. Now all that's left to do is to string it up and hear how it sounds.
Wait! So before we do the sound check on this bad boy, I want to talk about it a little bit. So this is a really nice kit. It was the B stock, so it's a little bit cheaper than the regular, full price version. And the only thing that made it a B stock was a little bit of messed up veneer, which we fixed, and it looks pretty good. So save some money, have a cool guitar. The bridge, the paint being messed up there, that's okay because I took it all off, and I think it looks good like this. Maybe one day I'll do something to it. I don't know. The wiring was a nightmare, but it wasn't that bad, really. You follow the wiring diagram and you'll be okay. The only difficult part was because this is hollow, there's no panel in the back to get to everything. You have to wire it up from the outside, and then you feed everything in using string. You feed it all in through one hole. I didn't film all that because it would have been boring. It would have been super boring for you. Anyway, so yes, the fret wire did send me this to review and make this video, and I thank them for that. That was awesome. But what they also did was they sent me the upgraded pickups. So it comes with pickups, and those are the ones you saw me installing a second ago. So I did a test. I did the stock pickups and recorded the same song with the upgraded pickups. And at upgraded pickups, they look, at first glance, they look exactly the same. There's a little bit different. And they do sound different. So, up next, you're going to see a clip. I recorded a song using both sets of pickups. And I'm going to put at the bottom of the screen which pickups you're hearing, either stock or upgraded. And then, here's the coolest part. They sent me 2 sets of the upgraded pickups. So I'm going to give one set away. To you, possibly. There's going to be a link in the description for the contest. So if you want to enter, click the link in the description and enter. And then you'll win them. And then I'll just send them to you in the mail. It'll be super fun. Anyway, so let's hear how it sounds.